Welcome to Ancient Chronicles AI. Here, we cross the line between what is known and what is denied, stepping into the ancient angels of Persia. Chapter 1. The Dawn of Asha. Before time learned to measure itself, the cosmos lay silent beneath an endless veil of unshaped possibility. A single radiance pierced the void, the first light of Ahura Mazda, rising like a dawn that had no beginning. From this sacred brilliance, order unfurled across the heavens, weaving harmony where chaos once drifted without purpose. The light gathered itself into 7 luminous forms, each one a reflection of the eternal wisdom that birthed creation. These were the Amisha Spentus, the immortal holy ones, born not of flesh or flame, but of divine intention. Their emergence sent ripples through the newborn cosmos, awakening stars, stirring winds, and calling matter into sacred alignment. Each Spenta carried a facet of Ahura Mazda's essence: thought, truth, dominion, devotion, wholeness, and immortality. Together they formed the pillars of Asha, the cosmic order that would guide all realms toward righteousness. The heavens brightened as they took their place, their presence shaping the laws that would govern existence. The void trembled, recognizing that the age of formless wandering had ended, replaced by purpose and divine structure. The Amasha Spentus gazed upon creation with eyes of pure light, understanding their charge before it was spoken. They were to be guardians, stewards, and shepherds of the universe's unfolding destiny. Their harmony became the heartbeat of the cosmos, a rhythm that echoed through every star and every breath of life to come. And as the first dawn of Asha spread across the infinite expanse, the universe awakened to its sacred beginning. The cosmos awakens under the light of Ahura Mazda, and the Amisha Spentus emerge as the first guardians of divine order, establishing the foundation upon which all creation would rise and flourish. Chapter 2. Vohu Mana. The voice of sacred thought from the radiant heart of Ahura Mazda. A gentle brilliance descended like a whisper, carried on the first winds of creation. This was Vohu Mana, the immortal spirit of good mind, whose presence softened the cosmos with wisdom's quiet strength. Where his light touched, confusion dissolved, and the seeds of understanding awakened in every living soul. He moved through the newborn realms with steps that left no mark, yet shaped destinies with the gentlest intention. Creatures stirred beneath his gaze, sensing compassion woven into the very fabric of his being. He taught them to think with clarity, to choose with kindness, and to act with hearts aligned to truth. His voice was not heard with ears, but felt within the spirit, a guiding thought that lifted minds toward righteousness. Where conflict brewed, he brought calm. Where fear lingered, he breathed courage born of insight. The stars themselves seemed to brighten as he passed, as though creation recognized the purity of his purpose. He whispered to the first shepherds of the earth, teaching them to care for their flocks with gentleness and honor. He inspired the earliest thinkers, planting within them the spark of reason that would one day shape civilizations. Even the beasts of the wild felt his influence, learning harmony where instinct once ruled alone. Vohu Mana's presence became a bridge between divine intention and mortal understanding, a sacred thread binding thought to virtue. And wherever he walked, the path of wisdom blossomed, guiding creation toward the light of Asha. The angel of good mind descends among creation, guiding beings toward wisdom, compassion, and righteous intention, shaping the thoughts of the world with the gentle brilliance of divine understanding. Chapter 3. Asha Vahishta. The flame of perfect truth, from the heart of the celestial expanse. A blaze of immaculate light descended, purer than any fire creation had ever known. This was Asha Vahishta, the embodiment of perfect truth, whose radiance revealed the universe as it was meant to be. Where his flame touched, falsehood dissolved like mist before the rising sun. The laws of existence shimmered around him, not as commands, but as harmonies woven into the fabric of reality. He walked through the newborn cosmos with steps that aligned stars, balanced elements, and set the rhythm of time itself. His presence clarified the boundaries between order and chaos, illuminating the eternal struggle that shaped all realms. The forces of disorder recoiled from his brilliance, unable to hide their distortions beneath his piercing light. Every creature that beheld him felt the weight of truth settle upon their spirit, calling them toward righteousness. He whispered the principles of Hasha into the winds, teaching creation that truth was not merely spoken, but lived. Mountains rose in accordance with his will, rivers carved their paths with purpose, and the heavens aligned in perfect symmetry. Even the shadows grew honest in his presence, revealing their nature without deceit or malice. Ashavahishta's flame burned not to destroy, but to refine, purify, and restore all things to their rightful order. His light became the standard by which all actions would be measured, a beacon guiding creation toward harmony. And as he lifted his flame to the heavens, the cosmos understood that truth was the foundation upon which eternity would stand. The embodiment of cosmic truth reveals the laws that bind the universe, illuminating the eternal struggle between order and chaos, and establishing the sacred flame that guides all creation toward perfect harmony. Chapter 4. Shathravarya, the dominion of celestial strength. From the highest reaches of the heavens, a thunderous radiance descended, forged from the unyielding will of Ahura Mazda. This was Shathravarya, the immortal spirit of divine sovereignty, whose presence carried the weight of celestial authority. His light was not gentle like Vohu Manaw's, nor refining like Ishavahishta's, but strong, resolute, and unbreakable. Where he walked, the very fabric of the cosmos hardened into fortresses of brilliance and shields of eternal purpose. He shaped the heavenly realms with hands of living metal, crafting citadels that gleamed like stars held in perfect discipline. The winds bowed before him, recognizing the dominion that flowed from his essence. Mountains rose at his command, forming the first bastions of light against the encroaching whispers of chaos. He forged the armor of righteousness, not for battle alone, but as a symbol of the strength found in unwavering virtue. His voice echoed like a clarion across creation, calling all beings to stand firm in the face of darkness. The stars aligned in disciplined formation, reflecting the order he brought to the celestial expanse. Even the elements themselves learned restraint under his guidance, finding harmony through the balance of power and purpose. Shathravarya's dominion was not tyranny, but guardianship strength wielded in service of truth and protection. He taught creation that sovereignty was not the right to rule, but the responsibility to uphold what is sacred. And as his fortresses of light rose across the heavens, the cosmos understood that divine strength was the shield upon which Asha would endure. The guardian of divine sovereignty forges the heavenly realms, shaping the armor of righteousness and the fortresses of light, establishing the unbreakable strength that defends creation against the shadows that seek its undoing. Chapter 5. Spenta Armadi, the spirit of holy devotion. From the quiet heart of creation, a gentle radiance rose like dawn, spreading across fertile earth. This was Spenta Armadi, the immortal spirit of devotion, whose presence softened the cosmos with sacred tenderness. Where she walked, the ground blossomed, recognizing in her steps the love that binds all life to its divine source. Her light was not fierce nor commanding, but patient, nurturing, and steady as the turning of seasons. She knelt beside the newborn earth, whispering humility into its soil, and teaching it to cradle every living thing. Mountains bowed beneath her touch, learning endurance. Rivers flowed with grace, learning to nourish without ceasing. She breathed gentleness into the winds, so they might carry comfort rather than fear. Her devotion became a sanctuary, a refuge where creation could rest in the certainty of divine care. She taught the first beings that true strength was found not in dominance, but in reverence and compassion. Her presence soothed the restless, calmed the proud, and lifted the weary with the promise of sacred belonging. Even the stars dimmed their brilliance in respect, recognizing the quiet power of her holy patience. Spenta Armadi's love wove itself into the roots of the world, binding creation to its creator with threads of devotion. Her spirit became the heartbeat of the earth, a rhythm of humility and grace that echoed through every living soul. And as she spread her blessing across the realms, the cosmos learned that devotion was the soil in which all virtue grows. The angel of devotion nurtures the earth, teaching humility, patience, and the sacred bond between creation and its creator, establishing the gentle foundation upon which all life finds purpose and peace. Chapter 6. Horvadet, the waters of wholeness from the horizon where sky meets spirit. A serene radiance flowed forth like dawn, reflected upon still waters. This was Horvadet, the immortal spirit of wholeness, whose presence carried the promise of harmony in every breath. She descended upon the newborn world with the gentleness of rain, blessing creation with the purity of her essence. Where her light touched, rivers awakened, shimmering with the clarity of divine intention. She traced her fingers across the waters, teaching them to heal, to nourish, and to carry life with unwavering devotion. Lakes formed in her footsteps, mirrors of tranquility that reflected the unity between body and spirit. The first springs bubbled with vitality, infused with her gift of perfect balance. Creatures drank from her waters and felt their strength renewed, their spirits aligned with the rhythm of creation. She whispered to the currents, revealing the mysteries of harmony, how health was not merely the absence of decay, but the presence of divine order. Her voice flowed through the rivers like a song, guiding them to cleanse the world of impurity and discord. Even the oceans bowed to her, learning the ebb and flow that would sustain life across the ages. Horvadet's blessing wove itself into every droplet, ensuring that water would forever be a vessel of healing and unity. Her presence taught creation that wholeness was not perfection alone, but the sacred balance between strength and serenity. And as her waters spread across the earth, the world felt itself drawn into a deeper harmony, embraced by the promise of divine completeness. The guardian of perfection and health blesses the rivers of the world, revealing the mysteries of spiritual and physical harmony, and establishing the waters through which creation finds renewal, balance, and life. Chapter 7. Ameritat, the keeper of immortality. From the deepest roots of creation, a soft emerald glow rose like breath exhaled from the heart of eternity. This was Ameritat, the immortal spirit of eternal life, whose presence carried the promise that the divine spark would never fade. She moved with the quiet grace of a seed sprouting beneath ancient soil, unseen yet essential to all that would ever live. Where her light touched, decay hesitated, bowing before the authority of everlasting purpose. She tended the roots of existence with hands woven from the essence of unending dawn. Every tree, every blade of grass, every living creature felt her blessing as a whisper of endurance within their being. She taught creation that life was not a fleeting moment, but a sacred thread woven through time's vast tapestry. Her voice flowed like sap through the world's veins, reminding all things that growth and renewal were divine birthrights. Even the mountains felt her presence, their ancient stones warmed by the promise that existence itself was cherished. She walked among the first gardens, nurturing blossoms that would never wither and fruits that carried the memory of paradise. Her radiance strengthened the weary, restoring what time sought to diminish and what darkness sought to claim. Ameritat's essence intertwined with Horvadet's waters, forming the eternal cycle of health and life that sustained creation. She became the guardian of the spark within every soul, ensuring that the breath of Ahura Mazda endured beyond shadow and silence. And as she tended the roots of the world, the cosmos understood that immortality was not escape from time, but harmony with the divine will that transcends it. The angel of eternal life tends the roots of existence, ensuring that the divine spark endures beyond time and decay, establishing the sacred promise that life, true, radiant, and eternal, can never be extinguished. Chapter 8. The adversary stirs. Shadows of Angra Mainyu, from the farthest edge of unlit eternity, A tremor rippled through the void like a breath drawn in secret rebellion. The harmony woven by the Amesha Spentus quivered, sensing a presence that had long slept beneath the threshold of creation. A cold fissure opened in the fabric of the cosmos, spilling forth a darkness untouched by Asha's sacred flame. This was Angraman Yu, the ancient adversary, awakening with a hunger sharpened by ages of silent brooding. His essence seeped into the newborn realms like poison, twisting the air with whispers of deceit and ruin. Where the Spentus had sown order, he sought to unravel. Where they had nurtured life, he yearned to corrupt. His shadow slithered across the heavens, seeking cracks in the divine harmony through which chaos might take root. Stars dimmed as he passed, recoiling from the malice that clung to his formless shape. He gazed upon the works of the immortal ones with envy, despising the beauty forged from Ahura Mazda's light. In the depths of his being, a single desire burned to shatter the cosmic order and claim dominion over a world unmade. He whispered lies into the winds, hoping to bend creation toward discord and fracture the unity of the Spentus. The rivers of Horvatet trembled, the roots of Ameritet stirred uneasily, and even the fortresses of Shothra felt the chill of his rising. The Spentus sensed the disturbance, their radiance tightening as they prepared to confront the darkness they had long known would return. And as Angramanyu's shadow spread across the horizon of existence, the first great conflict of creation began to stir. The ancient enemy awakens, seeking to corrupt the Spentus work and unravel the cosmic order with deceit and destruction, casting the first shadow upon a universe that had only just learned to shine. Chapter 9. The Celestial Confrontation. The heavens trembled as the shadow of Angramanyu spread across creation, dimming stars that once sang with perfect harmony. The Amesha Spentus gathered at the threshold between light and void, their radiance weaving together like a shield forged from divine unity. Vohu Mana's gentle brilliance sharpened into clarity, revealing the lies hidden within the adversary's darkness. Asha Vaheshta's flame rose higher, illuminating the battlefield with the uncompromising truth that no shadow could withstand. Shothra Varia's dominion surged like molten metal, forming fortresses of light that anchored the celestial realm against corruption. Spenta Armadi knelt upon the trembling earth, her devotion flowing outward to steady creation with humility and sacred resolve. Horvatet's waters surged in luminous waves, washing away the poison of deceit that seeped from the adversary's presence. Ameritat's emerald glow intertwined with the rivers of wholeness, strengthening the roots of existence against decay and despair. Angramanyu rose before them, a vortex of malice and distortion, seeking to fracture their unity with whispers of doubt. But the Spentus stood as one, their virtues merging into a single, unbreakable harmony that resonated through the cosmos. Their radiance clashed with the shadow, not as weapons of destruction, but as embodiments of truth, compassion, strength, and eternal life. The darkness writhed beneath their combined brilliance, recoiling as each virtue exposed its emptiness and revealed its false dominion. The heavens blazed with the light of their unity, a symphony of divine purpose that shattered the illusions of the adversary. And as the final wave of radiance surged forth, the shadow was driven back into the abyss, sealed by the harmony of the immortal ones. The Amesha Spentus unite their powers, confronting the forces of darkness in a battle fought through virtue, truth, and divine radiance, proving that creation's greatest strength lies not in force, but in the perfect unity of sacred purpose. Chapter 10. The eternal vigil of the Spentus, the cosmos settled into a calm, radiant stillness as the last echoes of the celestial battle faded into the horizon of eternity. The Amesha Spentus stood together beneath the boundless heavens, their combined light restoring harmony to every trembling corner of creation. Vohu Mana's wisdom flowed once more through the thoughts of all living beings, guiding them toward compassion and clarity. Asha Vahishta's flame rekindled the laws of truth, ensuring that order remained the foundation upon which all realms would stand. Shothra Varia strengthened the celestial fortresses, forging new shields of light to guard against the return of shadow. Spenta Armadi knelt upon the earth, blessing it with renewed devotion, so that humility and reverence would flourish among its children. Horvadet's waters shimmered with restored purity, carrying healing and harmony through rivers, oceans, and the veins of every living soul. Ameritat tended the roots of existence, weaving immortality into the breath of creation, so that life would endure beyond the reach of decay. Together, the Spentas lifted their gaze toward the distant future, seeing the path humanity would one day walk beneath their watchful care. They understood that their work was not finished, for the struggle between light and shadow would echo through ages yet unborn. But they also knew that as long as their virtues remained united, no darkness could ever claim dominion over the cosmos. Their radiance spread across the heavens like an eternal dawn, a promise that the divine order would never be abandoned. Creation breathed in harmony once more, upheld by the vigilance of the immortal ones who guarded it with unwavering purpose. And as the ages turned, the Spentas remained steadfast, guiding all realms toward the final triumph of light. With the balance restored, the Amasha Spentas resumed their watch over creation, guiding humanity and the cosmos toward the final triumph of light, ensuring that the flame of Asha will one day shine unchallenged across all existence. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss what comes next. Until then, stay curious, stay aware, and keep searching the shadows. Take care.